All right, welcome back to Served. As promised, we all watched her amazing victory up in Canada. She has been traveling the world this year, just winning a bunch of tennis matches. Victoria Mboko getting ready for the U.S. Open. Congratulations. And I will tell you, this is early in the morning. We kind of package all of our segments together. This young woman, I don't know what I'm more impressed by, her victory at the Masters 1000 up north or being 7 minutes early for an interview brought to you by our friends at Wilson. Vicky, how are you in the aftermath of your victory in Canada?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing great. Of course, a lot has happened in the past week or so, but I've been kind of focused on the next tournaments, so I kind of accelerate a little bit, but I had to lock in pretty fast and early. But yeah, I mean, after all of that, I feel pretty good and good with myself, at least.
Good. You started the year, and this has been written probably ad nauseum by now, since Canada, and even for those in the know before Canada, outside of the top 330 in the world. And you started your year in Rome, but it was in Rome, Georgia. And then Manchester, wins in Portugal, couple at the BJK Cup in Tokyo, back to Rome where you played one Coco Golf, Canadian. I mean, you've been all over Earth this year. You've been putting in work.
Yeah. I mean, I've been traveling a lot, but it's part of the game. And I enjoy it most of all, traveling. So I think it's an easy task for me, that part.
Walk us through the Canadian Open, right? So the one thing that stood out for me is every player who's kind of gone through the different levels, especially at a rapid pace like you have this year, normally runs into the test of physicality at some point. I remember I was in the French Open one year after I kind of made my move, playing a 5-setter. Body fully gave out, right? Cramping everywhere, couldn't put the pieces together. Your physicality in Canada, in the ability to stand up to those matches, especially losing in the first set to great players in a bunch of those, how are you so prepared physically? And that's before we get to the tennis, and that's before we get to the mental part.
Yeah, well, I mean, during the Canadian Open, since it was like I think 7 matches I played, it was quite a lot. I think the most I played in a tournament. So I would say towards the end I was pretty tired physically and mentally a little bit, but I think what kind of kept me going was that hey, like I'm so happy to even play like a 1000 and to play against these girls. So I honestly wanted to match whatever they were producing. They didn't seem so tired, so I didn't really want to show that I was out of gas or I couldn't keep up because I had the ability to. And of course, there were moments where I wanted to maybe like I was really tired and I might have not been able to keep up as much. But I think I really wanted it so badly that my body just had to keep going. And yeah, I mean, it worked out in my favor at the end because it was really helpful in the moments where the match could have gone completely the other way. And yeah, even some of the matches where I was down match points, down sets, I just wanted to hang in there as much as possible and just fight until the last point.
Let's take the other side of the coin. Let's talk about the mental because Coco mentioned your movement. Other players talked about your power, but I think what was really so impressive to everyone watching was your poise. It says you're about to turn 19 next week, but I don't think too many people would have guessed that watching it. Where do you get that? Where does your mind go during the tense moments of matches? How do you stay so poised?
Honestly, in those kinds of moments, I feel like it's in my head, I'm actually really nervous and I'm really tight, but I try to not put as many thoughts in my head as possible. I try to keep it really numb up here, and I really don't want to think about a lot in those moments because when I feel like I pretend like I don't care, that's actually when I'm playing a bit better. But when I kind of let it catch up to me, and I get nervous and I get tight, nothing is going to come out of my racket and I'm not going to move well and everything just kind of crumbles down at that one moment. But yeah, I think especially when I'm it's tight games, down match points, those kinds of moments. I really just don't like to think about anything at all. I just go there and swing, I guess.
Something else we don't often see when someone is so young is the idea of gratitude, right? And so talk about the week in Canada and the entire country getting behind you to the point where the men's final is going on, you win, and the entire stadium erupts into a standing ovation. And it's not something you just acknowledge. It's something that you seem to mention and celebrate over and over. What did it mean to you, your country getting behind you during this run?
Yeah, I mean, that whole experience was kind of crazy. Like, the Canadian Open is one tournament that so many young Canadians, boys and girls, they really look forward to playing in the future, because that's like our US Open in a way. And honestly, for me, at the beginning, to play at the main draw of a tournament like that, it was such a big deal for me, and I was so incredibly thankful, and I felt so happy to even be there. But let alone when I remember my first match, when before I went on, I was really nervous. But I think when I went on the court and I saw so many people like clapping for me and supporting me, it really kind of warmed my heart a little bit. And I think it definitely helped me in many moments where I was down in the match, and they would just help me pull it through. No matter what, they're always rooting for me. And that's not something we experience a lot, because there's not many tournaments in Canada either. So throughout the tournament, more and more spectators came and fans. At some point, everyone had posters of some slogans that they would like hold up during the match, and I thought that was really cute. So yeah, just moments like that, it just really made me so happy. And I think at the end of every single match, that's the loudest I've ever heard a whole stadium cheering for me. So that was honestly incredible, and I think that made my whole week, to be honest.
Part of breaking through is sort of introducing the world to your tennis. Part of breaking through is also just introducing the world to who you are. What do you, I mean, first, I have a specific question where I read something very disturbing that I'm wondering if you can confirm or deny, but you had a sibling beat you love in a tournament?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, my sister, she's 10 years older than me. So I was really competitive. I have 3 older siblings, for reference, 1 older sister and 2 older brothers, and they're a lot older than me. Like, the closest age gap is 7 years between me and my brother. So growing up, I never wanted to lose to them. But then again, every time I played my sister, it was an 8-year-old versus an 18-year-old. So yeah, I remember once our academy tournament director kind of put us against each other first round, because I was an alternate in the tournament. And yeah, they let me choose the type of ball, and whatever court surface we were able to choose, and she annihilated me 0-0. And I think that was the most I've ever cried in a day. I just remember like crying in my dad's arms the rest of the day, and I think I didn't talk to her for like a good week.
Let's get to the happier moment, because this often happens. My older brother played tennis. He played at Georgia, was a good player, played junior Grand Slams. And I remember he would come home from college during the summer. And one summer I lost to him, similar to your story, not quite 0-0, but not good. 1-1, 1-2. And then the next summer, different story. Flipped the script, never to return again. He was never going to beat me again. Talk about the first time you flipped it on one of your siblings.
I actually never flipped it. That's the thing. Like,
I have a feeling you just need to play them.
Yeah, I mean, I've been asking them. They're like, "Oh, we'll play one summer." They'll never want to play me.
Smart.